Hey guys, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to be talking about my part 2 of my TBR reading. I told you there was going to be a part 2 coming. So here it is. Anyway, you guys, before I get to this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Please, that would mean a lot to me. And especially if you enjoy my content. There'll be more to come. I have a video planned where I'm going to be discussing one of my favorite authors, Cassandra Clare. That's going to be coming up probably within the next month. And then I'm also going to be doing another TBR video, you guys, because Tome Topple round 13 is going to be happening. That is created by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, if you've ever watched her channel. It's where a tome is basically like a book that's over 500 pages. And there's like a bunch of reading prompts that go along with that. I'm going to talk about that in my next video, which will be my Tome Topple TBR, because Tome Topple starts on the 14th and it ends on the 27th. It's a 2-week readathon, and by the way, I did not do well the last time. I did very bad, but I'm gonna redeem myself this time. So, yeah, enough on that. Let's get to my TBR. All right, you guys. So, like, there are some books that I will be reading that are not part of a series. They're standalones because I've been wanting to get to them. So this will mostly be a series-focused month. Excuse me, but that I will still be reading like regular standalones. The first series that I want to touch on, or the first series for this video, is the Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor. I have heard so much about this series, mainly like one of the people that like rants and raves about this series is Jananine from from her channel This Story Ain't Over. I love her channel, and she's just one of those really cool people with an amazing personality, and she seems like so much fun. She seemed like she'd be a fun person to hang out with. But yeah, her channel is great. I'll link her channel down in the description. Yeah, so I'm reading this book series because of her. So, thank you, Jananine. Anyway, this series is about a guy named Laszlo. Yeah, Laszlo is his name. Laszlo Strange. And he's a scholar or historian or something like that. And one day, I guess... Yeah, so Laszlo Strange, he has been obsessed with this lost city that everyone calls Weep. And why they call it Weep is because a lot of people have forgotten about the city and its true name. No one knows the real name of the city. So he sets off on a journey to like find this lost city, I guess, something like that. Yep, pretty much. So he sets off on a journey to find the lost city, and a lot of other stuff goes down. I'm really looking forward to reading this duology. Like I said, it's Strange the Dreamer and then Muse of Nightmares. And I've heard Laini Taylor's writing is very kind of poetic in a way. So I'm really excited and looking forward to this duology. And I think I can finish it this month because it's a duology. And one of them might be on my... I think I might read Strange the Dreamer for a tome. So, on my Tome Topple TBR. So, yeah. Which, by the way, I'm going to be releasing that video pretty quickly here because Tome Topple starts in 4 days. So, yeah, I need to get on the ball for that. So, expect another TBR video when it comes to my Tome Topple TBR. So, my friend Jessie Mae, from her channel Jessie Mae, my friend Jessie Mae from her channel Jessie Mae has started a book club called Shelf Space. And it's where she picks like a book for the month, and then she chooses like another booktuber, and like she and this booktuber discuss the book on a live show at the end of the month. And this book club is made up of myself and many other people. Like we have this amazing chat on this Discord, and we just talk about anything and everything, and it's just so much fun. And we even like do reading sprints with each other and like talk recommendations and all that stuff. We're reading Sword of Kaigen this month, which is by I'll have that up on the screen here in just a sec. Sword of Kaigen by I forget the name of the author. I think it's M.L. Wong, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, it'll be right here. So yeah, but we're reading Sword of Kaigen. It's like a standalone novel, which has like this really rich Asian culture in it. And I'm only 2 chapters in, but basically it's about this kid named Mamoru Matsuda, who is, his family is like one of the most powerful families in Kaigen, or like I don't know exactly. They're the most powerful families, and a threat that has not been a threat for many years becomes a threat again, and his family has to step up to the plate and defend their people. So that's all I know really much about it. Like I said, I'm only 2 chapters in, so yeah. But I'm really liking it so far. Anyway, that was Sword of Kaigen. And like I said, we're reading that in Shelf Space, which is book club created by Jessie Mae. I'll link her channel in the description below. And just so you can find out about her. And then also, I might link the video where she talks about Shelf Space and the Discord and everything, so you can get information on that and how to get plugged in with that. Anyway, alright, the next book I want to talk about is none other than, oh god, Malice. I have been trying to read this book for the last 3 or 4 months. Have not gotten to it. Anyway, this is the first book in the Faithful and the Fallen trilogy, or not trilogy, the Faithful and the Fallen series, which is a quartet, so made of 4 books. And it is a lot like Game of Thrones, if you're into Game of Thrones. And it's just this like epic fantasy, which has like 4 main characters, and they are like wanting different things. It's a fantasy, by the way. Obviously, you can tell probably by the sword. I've only read like first 2 chapters, but I like it so far. So this was also part of the Shelf Space, one of the Shelf Space books, but I couldn't read it in time for the live show because July was just so hectic. That's when we were supposed to read it. But I'm reading it now, and then hopefully I can get to Valor, which is the second book. I have this second book, and then I'm going to continue by the other 2. So, yeah, this is by John Gwynne, Malice. This next book, you guys, is a standalone. And this is one I got from Book of the Month back in September, I believe. This is called The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. This is about a girl named Kara who gets selected to be part of this like team of people who do multiverse traveling. And in this book, she is they've discovered, I guess, over 300 worlds where your doppelganger is like there's different versions of yourself in, but visit the world in which your doppelganger lives in unless they are dead. And our main character, over 300 versions of her have died in like different types of ways, and there's only 8 of her left, including herself, I believe. And so she has to, her most recent version of herself that died, they have no idea how it happened. So I guess she has to go investigate how it happened. And a lot of crazy stuff happens. There's also LGBTQ plus representation. Our main character and one of the other main characters in this book. It's a female-female relationship, and oh my gosh, I can already, from the first chapter, you can already feel the tension between the characters. So, yeah, it's a great book so far. Alright, so I have 3 books that I want to talk about here by the same author. One of them is, I don't know if it's going to be a series right now, I just think it's a standalone. And this is one that's just recently come up on the waves of YouTube and the BookTube community, because it was released back in September, or was it was October? I think it was October, yeah, actually. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, aka Victoria Schwab. And this is one author who I've been trying to read all year, but I just have not made myself pick up one of her books. I don't know why. I have tons of her books now. Like, I have this book, I have her Shades of Magic trilogy, and I have her Monsters of Verdi duology. I had to think about it. But I'm going to be talking. This is about our main character, Addie LaRue, who was born in the 1600s. And she was born in a time where women were taught to be submissive and, like, be a good housewife and whatever. But she decides that she does not want to live that kind of life. Just get married and be a good wife or whatever. She doesn't want to do that. So she meets a god or whatever, and she makes a deal where she asks for immortality, and they grant her that wish. But the catch is, everyone she comes in contact with will forget who she is after their first meeting. So it's like kind of like a gift and a curse, because she gets to live forever and experience life, but everyone she comes in contact with will never remember who she is. Until present day, where the other main character that comes into the story meets her, and after the first time they meet, he remembers who she is. And there's going to be a romance thing going on here. Now, I was told that V.E. Schwab doesn't really do romance in her books much, so this will be like a huge first for her. I could be wrong, but I'm here for it because I love artists who are authors who challenge themselves. And yeah, so this will be my first book that I'm going to be reading by V.E. Schwab, and I'm really excited about it. Continuing with the V.E. Schwab train, I chose to read her Monsters of Verdi duology, which I think is a middle grade, and has This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. I love the covers, you guys. That's the first thing that jumped out at me. There's like 2 different versions of like this book, I believe, and I just like these colors better than the other versions. Like, especially this one. My favorite color is blue, so just the outline of the... I love this. I think it's an instrument. Yes, they're guitars, I believe. Anyway, this duology is about 2 main characters, Kate and August. Kate is a human. August is a monster. Kate, her father created these monsters, and now there's like this war between the monsters and the humans. And our other main character, August, strangely enough, longs to be human. I believe so. Yeah, he longs to be human. And he also has a really unique ability. He can steal people's songs, or souls, with the ability of just with song, which I think is incredible, using music as a weapon. And he has this like really cool violin where he does it. And I guess from what I read in the synopsis, a assassination attempt goes awry, and the 2 of them get caught up in the middle of it, and they basically end up having to try and stop a war or something like that. So this is our Monsters of Verdi duology, which I'm very excited to read. And if you've read it before, tell me in the comments, like, not spoilers, just tell me what you thought of it. Anyway, guys, this is Monsters of Verdi duology by V.E. Schwab. Yep, so there's that. Is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book has been on my TBR since August, and I have not read it. I'm probably going to tackle this for my tome topple again. I tried to in August, but that didn't happen. But this is an African fantasy, set in Africa, obviously. But it's our main character named Zadie. Her tribe and a lot of the other tribes connected to them were once blessed with magic. But someone comes through many years ago and steals their magic. And her main objective is to avenge her family, because her mother was one of the last people that had magic. So avenge her family and also steal or get their magic back. So that's just the journey that our main character is going to be going on. And I've already started this book, and it's already getting good. I'm only on chapter 2. So I'm super excited to finish it this month. Oh, it's a planned trilogy, by the way. The first book, Children of Blood and Bone, I have. And then I'm also going to get Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which just came out this year, I believe. I could be wrong. And then the last book, I don't know the title of it, but it'll be out probably next year or the year after that. Alright, you guys, this is another standalone. This is What If It's Us? This is by a double team effort by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. Becky Albertalli is responsible for books like Love, Simon, Leah on the Offbeat, and Unrequited. I think it's called Unrequited. The Upside of Unrequited. There you go. And these two, like Ben and Arthur, our main characters, have like a meet cute moment at a post office, and it goes off from there. And I have not finished this book. Well, actually, I haven't even started it. I have been trying to read this book for months because I got it several months ago, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. And I love Becky Albertalli. I read Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda back in July, and I've seen the movie. I love both equally. So, next book I'm going to talk about is The House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. This is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses fairy tale, which I have not read yet. I need to read this. Oh, I need to read the fairy tale and then also read this. But our main character and her sisters keep getting lured to a ball, I guess, and then they keep dying. And obviously, our main character has to try and figure out how this is all happening before she becomes the next victim. So she's trying to save her sisters and also save herself. And this is obviously a dark interpretation of the 12 Dancing Princesses fairy tale. And I'm here for it. I love retellings. And Haley at Haley and Bookland has really recommended this book. I bought this back in April. And when I saw that she recommended it, I was like, okay, this definitely is like, I'm glad I bought this book several months ago. And by the way, look at the cover, you guys. Oh my god, that is so freaking beautiful. Like, that's the reason I bought this book. Not because of the subject matter. I just looked at it and I was just like, that is really beautiful. I want it. That was my whole reasoning. So, yeah. But, you know what? Who cares? Royal Bastards by Andrew Schwartz. This is about our main character, Tilla, who is the bastard child of Lord Kent of the Western Province. And she wants nothing more than to have a good relationship with her father. And, obviously be loved. I think he does love her, but obviously she is not born of she's only half noble, which back in those days, if you're a half-breed born in a kingdom, you're basically nothing. Yeah, pretty much. And she eventually witnesses something bad happening. Like she witnesses a crime or some murder that was committed, and she ends up being on the run. And she also, I think, along the way, runs into some other people who are also bastards. And they have to stop a war from happening. So, yeah, there's that. Royal Bastards. And I can't wait to read it. It's a trilogy. The next series I'm going to talk about is The Reckoners trilogy, which is a young adult fantasy by Brandon Sanderson. This is one of his attempts at young adult fantasy. This is about a boy named David who just this normal kid, and then one day this comet hits United States and completely destroys everything almost. And this comet gives a lot of other people abilities, and they're called epics. And unfortunately, this takes the whole thing of hero and heroine and basically twist it on its head, because the heroes and heroines in the story become corrupt and try to take over cities, and they're basically now living in this, what used to be Chicago is called New Chicago. And our main character David, his one of the heroes that he looked up to, one day like kills his father in a bank, and David joins up with these rebels called the Reckoners, who basically want to kill all of the epics because they wreak havoc on the world and they're just not good people. And so yeah, that's basically what this is. I read the first book. This is the first book. Fantastic. And then I've read a portion of Firefight, which is the second book. But I want to reread this because I need a refresher, and then going to move on to Firefight and the third and final book, Calamity. Speaking of Brandon Sanderson, Way of Kings, I'm 140 pages into this book. Need to tackle it and finish this dang book because the next one comes out in a few days. So yeah, got a lot of reading to do. Alright, so this next book series we're going to talk about is a duology by none other than Veronica Roth. It's called Carve the Mark. Now, there was some controversy over this book series like a few years back when it came out, but honestly, opposite that's faded, and I'm going to read this. I read the first book, Carve the Mark, and I really did enjoy it, but it was very confusing with the world building and other things. But what I remember is this two characters, Akos and Syrah, who were living on the same planet, but they're opposing sides. Akos is a Thuve, I think is how you say it, and Syrah is a Shotet, which the Shotet are the more powerful of the people. They are warriors, and they want to take over all the planets. It's set in space, if you didn't know. And the Thuve, or Thuve people, are more of a peacekeeping type of people. They'd rather have peace instead of fight. And they're living among, like, what I guess is called the current. The current is this invisible flowing energy that keeps things in order, I guess. And it also gives people gifts. Like our two main characters, Akos has the ability to stop the current, and Syrah has the ability to cause pain. So she's a lot like Juliet from Shatter Me, where she causes pain, except Syrah can also feel the pain she causes. So it's kind of like yeah. That's all I'm going to say about it, because that's all I remember about it. And then the last book series that I want to talk about and get into, because I need to finish it, again for the second time, is the Twilight series. I've been meaning to finish this. I've been doing a reread of the series because I've been wanting to read it for a second time, just to see what my opinion would be like the second time I read through the series. And like I said in my previous videos, I read this book series when I was 18. So, and now I'm 30. So, yeah, huge difference. And I'm liking it a little bit better the second time around. I am acknowledging that there are some very problematic things with this series, but I don't hate it. Are there other series that are 1,000 times better? Yes. But I'm enjoying it the second time, and this is the final book in the Twilight Saga, and I plan on finishing it this month via audiobook, so I'm going to read along with it. And then we have the Twilight retelling through Edward's perspective, which is Midnight Sun. And I've heard a lot of good things about this one, so I can't wait to read it. Anyway, you guys, those are a lot of the books that I am going to be reading this month. I might change my mind, and I will let you know. But if you have read any of those books that you saw, please give me, just write down in the comments what you thought of some of them. And yeah, we can discuss that. And also be looking for my Tome Topple TBR. Some of these books might be in that category because they're over 500 pages. So I might just wait to read them for the Tome Topple readathon. Anyway, you guys, again, if you liked, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. That would be really helpful and mean a lot to me. And also, it'll let you guys know when I'm coming out with a new video. So, anyway, you guys, that's all I have for you today. And have a great rest of your day, you guys. Bye.